Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. So I just got out of the gym. I did a back workout, feeling good. But the car is actually going in tomorrow to get quite a few things done. I'm really excited for this next stage of this car. It should add a lot of fun factor to it. It's something that I've always wanted to do. So I kind of really wanted to go over the parts that I'm going to be installing as well as to why. There's going to be a lot of questions as to why I chose what I chose. So I figured I would make a video going over everything that is going to be installed and kind of go into a little bit more depth as to why I decided to go this route. Because a lot of you know that I really do eventually would like to build a motor and kind of go all out on it. But I'm kind of taking my steps to get there. And I feel like this is a good stage to kind of get my foot in the door, kind of get ready for bigger power, kind of take my natural progression into the next stages and next phases of this car. But let's head back to the garage, go over the parts. I do have some of them in the garage. The other parts are actually already at the shop since I had them delivered or ordered through them, so they went right there. Let's head back to the garage, go over what I'm installing and why, and give you a little bit of insight as to the next phase and stage of this car. All right, guys, so what you just saw me load into the trunk is actually the turbo up pipe with the dump tube, as well as the tile 44mm wastegate. In there as well is the Titanium Works hardware for the tile wastegate. And also in the box was the Cobb wastegate bracket as well. Now you guys have seen that before. It is the PLM up pipe with the dump tube, as well as the tile 44mm wastegate. A lot of people were saying the PLM is not that great. And there's other better options out there. But honestly, right now, there's not really many options. Grimsby no longer sells the one with the dump tube. And there's a couple other brands out there as well, but the wait is super long. So I decided to pick it up. If anything, I could just change it down the road. It's not a big deal. But I am not using the PLM gaskets. Those things are terrible. They're pretty much paper. So I actually got some Grimsby gaskets for everything that I'm replacing. So we'll be good there. But the couple other things that I actually have at the shop that are already there is actually the turbo. I've already talked about it. I went with the Blausch 1.5 XTR. Really, really nice turbo. It's a ball bearing turbo. And also I picked up a Cobb turbo inlet as well. So this plastic piece right here is going to be replaced. So basically the whole entire system right here is going to be replaced with some really, really nice parts, and it should be a really, really fun daily driven street car. What I want to do in this video is actually go over why I chose this specific turbo, why I chose this specific setup. Now many of you know this is no longer a daily driver, but I still have that daily driver mindset. I don't like getting in cars that you really have to wind out. You have to take to a specific area. You have to go to the track to really feel what you're actually paying for and modifying. I like to use the power on the street. I like to be able to get in the car and just have fun with it, and that's kind of the cars that I enjoy building. So that is a huge reason as to why I ended up choosing the Blausch 1.5. A lot of people were telling me go 2.5, 3.0, go with the FP green, go with FP black. That stuff is fantastic. Honestly, I have nothing against them. But for my specific setup, there really was no need to go to anything bigger or anything other than the Blausch 1.5. It has very, very good daily driver characteristics to it. It spools pretty much like the stock turbo. You're probably going to start feeling the spool around 3,800 to 4,000, pretty much like the stock turbo. The one thing about the Blausch is it's actually going to pull all the way to redline, whereas the stock turbo basically falls off on the top end and you kind of lose the power and it kind of just fades out. So I'm really, really trying to focus on the drivability of it, keep it just as fun as it is right now, but not go overboard with it. Now, it's so easy to go overboard and just kind of throw something pretty ridiculous in there and just kind of go all out. But there's a main reason why I'm deciding to upgrade the turbo and kind of do a kind of stock bolt-on build before I go to a full built motor. Now, the main reason why I decided to go this route is simply because the videos that I make, I like to base things off of experience. I like to provide feedback of things that I've actually tried, that I've actually put through the test, things that I can actually experience and give my opinion on. I don't like videos, I don't like channels that just get things because, you know, they're sponsored by them or something, and that specific company is telling them what to say, and they have to do all these ads and everything, and sponsorships, kind of contracts in a way. I'm not like that. I only like to put stuff on the car that I personally want to put on, and then give you that feedback. If I just absolutely hate the Blausch 1.5, I'm going to tell you that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think of it, what I feel, and just share that with you guys. That is the point of my videos. I want to steer you guys in a direction where I think these cars really shine, where you're able to upgrade, but not go overboard and spend, you know, tens and thousands of dollars to be able to get to this point. So obviously it's super easy just to send it, do a full rotated setup, build the motor, and just go nuts with it. But going for where I am currently to a fully rotated built setup, it's just not the steps that I like to take. And the main reason is because I like to appreciate each phase, each step. My mindset with cars, I don't want to drive a Honda Civic and then jump right to a Lamborghini or a GT3 RS or anything like that. For me, going to that progression, you know, jumping from one extreme to the next, I don't think anyone can appreciate it as much as somebody that actually took the necessary steps to kind of get there. So for me to take this stock location, kind of upgrading everything, kind of all the bolt-ons that you can do with this car, and getting some experience with that, and then moving to something a little bit more serious, I'll be able to provide pretty valuable feedback. I'll be able to kind of tell you guys, oh no, just stay with stock location, or, you know, go to full rotated setup. Don't even mess with the stock location. You know, I want to be able to provide that feedback. I want to be able to obtain that knowledge and get the experience by doing a setup like this. Now with YouTube and social media in general, you know, people just see crazy builds all the time. You know, people just don't get why people don't go full send right away. And simply put, I'm just not like that. I'm kind of built different in a way. You know, I like to, you know, I'm a little bit older than the average YouTuber, I guess. So I kind of like to take those steps to be able to gain that knowledge and be able to get that feedback and experience so I can share it with you guys. You know, this channel means a lot to me. So being able to provide valuable feedback is also very important to me. So I'm not expecting anything crazy. To be completely honest, I really don't want to go up in power for where I am currently. Obviously, it's going to bump up a little bit, but I'm not really looking to push the 400 mark simply because I know the limitations of the EJ motor. I'm not looking for a specific number or specific boost range or anything like that. My main goal is to keep it as reliable and simple as possible, you know, not to push any of the components by any means, and just keep it really, really fun. And the main reason for that is obviously I don't want to, you know, who doesn't want to blow a motor? I don't want to do that. But I just really want to be able to show that you can build these cars with reputable parts, with a stock EJ, and not go overboard and still have fun. You know, honestly, you really don't need the craziness that everybody is showing on YouTube and just social media in general. You really don't need to go that far with these cars. I think, you know, where I am currently is a ton of fun. There's really not a need to go to the next step. I mean, obviously everybody wants more power, but I'm really, really about balance. And for a car like this that's just driven on the street, I don't race it or anything like that. I don't think it's necessary to really go insane. Yes, it's absolutely fun to get into an 800 horsepower STI and just absolutely rip it and everything like that. But for me, I'm a little bit older than the average YouTuber, I guess, if you want to call me. So kind of taking those necessary steps to provide the feedback and get the experience, I think is really, really important. So in terms of power, again, I'm not really looking for a specific number. Currently, I'm at 340 horsepower with 352 foot-pounds of torque at 18 PSI. Stock turbo, I have the full Cobb fueling upgrade. I have equal length headers. You know, I kind of did all the necessary bolt-ons basically to get to that stage 3 that everybody talks about. Now moving up with a little bit larger turbo, a ball bearing turbo, I should say, as well as the external wastegate, I'll be able to kind of stay around similar power, but have all the components work a little bit less. Components working a little bit less will also create less heat, which is something to really, really focus on, especially with the EJ motor. These motors in general are just known for heating issues and just heat soak and all that. So being able to have something that's working less, but providing the same power as it is currently is really important to me. And I think I'm really gonna be able to obtain that with all the parts going on tomorrow. So yes, the car is going to be there for a few days. It's getting retuned. It's going on the dyno and everything. So I'll be able to provide dyno sheets. I'll be able to provide some clips of it on the dyno. I'll be able to give you guys a good idea of what all of these components can do and just kind of where I'm sitting at. And now keep in mind, everything that I do have in this car or I am putting on with the next step, There's obviously way more potential. It can hold way more power. So don't think wherever I land is where, I'm not maxed out. There's going to be way more room, way more headroom to be able to go up in power if I really do want to. But my main focus, like I said, is reliability. And I'm not going to push it just because, there's no specific number I'm trying to reach or be able to show off or anything like that. It's just wherever the car is comfortable, wherever it feels good, wherever it just sits is fine with me. And that is kind of where I feel my mindset is different from others. Again, I'm not searching for a number or power or anything like that. I'm just building my STI the way that I think the perfect STI is for me. Right now, everything how it is sitting currently is my perfect STI, but throwing these last couple performance parts on the car, I think is going to be the cherry on top and is really, really going to take this car to the next step. Cool thing is, tomorrow I'm actually obviously dropping the car off, but I'm actually having a subscriber drive me home. I actually reached out and was like, hey, if anybody is kind of available, would you be able to pick me up from the shop and kind of give me a ride home? And one of my buddies that I talk to often, who's fairly local to me, was gracious enough to be able to provide that ride home for me. So huge shout out to Lewis. Thank you so much. And Lewis actually has an STI. I believe he has an AWE track or touring exhaust on his car. So what's better than driving up in an STI and then coming home in a different STI? Pretty cool Uber if you ask me. I'm actually having another buddy, my buddy Jeff, who I've been friends with for a very, very long time, actually give me a ride back to the shop to go pick up the car. And he actually has a Porsche Carrera T. Beautiful, beautiful car. So hopefully we'll be able to get some clips driving up and everything and kind of experience a really, really nice Porsche on the way to go pick up my newly tuned and turboed STI. I think that's pretty cool. There might not be a video on Friday depending on when the car gets done and when I'm able to go over to the shop and get the car. So if I'm able to get it on Thursday night, I'll be able to get a video out for you guys. If not, try to get one out Saturday for you. If not, next week. It obviously depends on when the car is done and everything and how everything goes. And then also when I'm able to, go pick up the car as well as get the video edited. So there may be a day or so delay, but either way, I'll definitely be getting videos for you guys of picking up the car, giving you guys my first impression and all that. Then also my buddy Jesse, who actually installed the tires on my truck a couple months ago, actually just picked up a 2018 F-150, and he's actually picking up the Morimoto mirror lights for me. I had another set, so I'm bringing them to him as well. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I really, really hope you guys enjoy this series and kind of enjoy the next step of this car. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Praying that this little EJ motor hangs on for a little bit longer. But I really do think with everything I'm putting on the car, is going to be quality. It's going to be a great, great setup. And I feel like I'm going to be able to provide some really nice feedback and experience for you guys, for anybody that is interested in kind of doing a setup like this. So, but that is it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Lots and lots to come with the car, with the new setup. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to kind of experiencing the new and the next stage of this car. So if you guys have any questions at all about the new setup or anything else on the car, let me know in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.